Welcome back to the channel. I want to show you guys how to make proxy media and generate optimized media in case you're getting poor playback. To generate your proxies or your optimized media, you have to set it up in your settings down here. Under the master settings, there's a section of optimized media and render cache. This is where you set your proxy media resolution. Depending on your starting resolution, you could go down pretty low and still have a decent quality picture. But if your files are already HD or something less, I wouldn't go too low or it's not going to look very good. Now you have proxy media format, so this is your codec. If you want to make a DNX or some kind of ProRes file, you can choose your codec here. You also have access to H.264 or 265. And then underneath that we have the optimized media format. So these are two different categories. And then below that we have project media location, generate proxy location, and it will ask you where you want these proxy files to live right when you generate them as well. So once you set all your parameters up here, you can go over to your bin, select all for whatever files you're needing to make proxies on. It won't go below in the folders here. You have to be down to the file level. So if I go into this footage folder and select all, it will do everything except the folders here. So then we're going to right click, and down here, there's proxy media. The options are generate, relink, and unlink. When you generate, it's going to ask you for a destination. So this could be an internal, an external, or a network location. I made a folder called proxy here. Hit open. Now it's going to go ahead and regenerate with the settings we just gave it. Now, depending on the amount of media you have and the resolution, this could take quite a while. A lot of people like to generate proxies before they even start the editing process just to make it a lot smoother and easier so you're not bogging down. Some of these codecs just don't work well with playback. So now that this is generated, let's show you how to point to the proxies. Up above your monitor here next to your Save Title, Save Action, you have a drop down and there's a proxy and a prefer camera originals or disable option. If we choose prefer proxies, you get this little PXY icon showing for proxy handling. And then down on your timeline, you could see we have the same icon on the media sources that were able to be turned into proxies, as well as in your media pool, gives you a little PXY. So it's letting you know you're using and viewing all your proxy files. So now you should get some pretty smooth playback, and this is independent of your timeline resolution as well. A lot of times I'll go down to half or a quarter if I'm getting some kind of bog down, and that usually helps. But if you're going to use the proxies, that'll really speed up your workflow and it'll just work a lot better. Now you can do color, graphics, and audio editing, get everything ready to go, and then when you're ready to output your final file, go back up here and you can choose disable all proxies or prefer camera originals. If we choose prefer camera originals, we'll get a little HQ icon down on the media, and that'll also change in our media pool. Now you can also just choose disable all proxies, and you can see our timeline refreshed one more time, and now it's pointing back to the originals. Now if you happen to move your proxies from a different location, you can actually select all your media, right click, and go back down to the proxy media, and there's a relink and unlink proxy media option. So if you moved your files to another drive or something, you can choose relink, and it'll ask you where are these files, where's your proxy folder, and you can choose that and it'll refresh. And now if we choose proxies, it'll be reading from the new location. Or you can unlink proxies. Let's say you're going to finalize the project, you're done using proxies, you can right click, move down to proxy media and say unlink proxy media. Now there won't be any proxy files associated with any of your source media files any longer. So if you want to archive it, it won't copy over additional media and take up additional hard drive space. Now I did say there's generate optimized media. If you have some differing codecs that are just bogging down, you can right click, and as a separate option here you have generate optimized media, and that will generate files for you based on the optimized media resolution and codec that you chose here under the project settings. All right, so that's it on how to generate proxies and optimized media and how to link and relink them in case you have to move them or unlink them for your project archive. All right, if that helps, consider giving me a like and subscribe. If you have a video topic you want me to make a video on, leave it down in the comments. And otherwise, I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.